Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, you have officially hit the jackpot. Now hear me out, this video is jam-packed with almost 3 hours of cleaning motivation. Now this isn't something that I do all the time, but this is a marathon cleaning where basically you have video after video after video of intense major cleaning. The purpose of a marathon clean is that you can basically binge watch all my videos without having to find a different video or look for something else. It is all right here for you. These videos were put together over the last several months, and I put my heart and soul into each video to not only give you cleaning motivation and ideas, but to also give you motivation in all areas of your life. My name is Michelle, and I'm just a real life ordinary mom like most of you guys out there, and throughout this video I hope you get new ideas, you get up and clean with me, you might laugh a little, you might cry a little, whatever it is. I hope that you are inspired in some way. If you make it past the first video and think I'm cool enough to hang around, then make sure that you subscribe, because next week I have lots of new content coming out. So let's go ahead and get this video started and see how much has been accomplished in the last 2 months.
Heard the countdown through the haze in the face of defeat, yeah. I was ruled out with no bailout, on my own, all alone, left to bleed out. But I rose up from the ground, just like I was spellbound. All the odds were against me, so I picked up the pace, and now I'm in the race. Give me some space. I'm a movement and I ain't losing. Gonna go, 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 go. Like a bullet, won't take no bullet. You should know, no. I'm about to explode.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am so grateful to have you here, whether you've been here before or this is your first time. In today's video, I'll be doing tons of deep cleaning and decluttering and going through spaces that I have never even thought to clean before. I wish I could say that I have my chores done before bed every night and that I have the house tidied up by the time my husband gets home from work every day, but majority of the time, that's just not the case. Over time, I found that the need for trying to be perfect and have everything perfectly clean all the time is just so exhausting. But I'll share a story about that a little later on. But because I know that these things still have to get done, why not make it fun and motivating? My name is Michelle, and I'm a mom of 2 small toddler girls. If you've been here before, you've probably seen them in the background of some of my videos making a mess. But if you enjoy real life cleaning, organizing, and motivation in all aspects of your life, then I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel, and I hope that you enjoy this video. I'm going to start in the kitchen. First up is tackling all of these dirty dishes. The larger dishes, and usually the pots and pans, I will hand wash, and then everything else I put in the dishwasher. These sink grids in our sinks have actually been a lifesaver, because I don't know why it's called stainless steel, but when we first moved into this house, we would just put our dishes straight on the stainless steel and it would leave ring circles around it, and it does stain. So we ended up getting these sink grids, and they have just been a lifesaver. If you are thinking about getting one, just make sure you measure the size. When I ordered these, I measured the wrong size, so my husband actually had to cut off the end of one of them so that it would still work and it would fit. I have used several different kinds of stainless steel cleaners to clean our stove and our refrigerator and other things that are stainless steel, but I have always found that just those Clorox wipes work the best. I don't know why, but that's just what I've always been using ever since. After I clean it with the stove with a Clorox wipe, then usually I'll just get a rag with some water and wipe it down one more time. That way, if there's any chemicals or anything left over, it doesn't stay on there.
For better or worse, we should stay together. So let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us forever. Yeah, baby, if you are feeling like I do.
Now moving on to the laundry, I have tons of kids' laundry to get done, get folded, and get put away, but I am just switching my clothes over to the dryer. And one thing is I never dry my shirts. I always hang them up and hang dry them because I've already been through the route of all of my clothes shrinking, so I usually just hang dry them. But one thing I noticed is certain materials will have a little bit of is it like a starchy feeling? Maybe you can leave me a comment below if you know what I'm talking about, where it's just kind of not soft anymore. And I've tried to use less detergent and thinking that there's just too much detergent being used, but maybe it's just certain materials. I don't know. What do you guys do to make sure that your clothes are extra soft after you wash them and not dry them? Leave me a comment below if you have any ideas. Now we are putting away some of the clothes. This is Sailor's room. She is my 3.5-year-old daughter, and a few months ago I went through all of her drawers and reorganized all of her clothes using the KonMari method, and y'all, it has been a game changer. I highly recommend it. I went through and did all of our clothes using the KonMari folding method. It's so much easier to find the clothes and put them away. It may take a little bit of time of extra folding up front, but once you get the hang of it, it goes by really fast. That was one of my worries, is the upkeep of having to fold it however many times you have to fold it, but it is truly worth it. Now that it's starting to get a little bit warmer, now that we're hitting spring, it's probably time for me to go through all of these clothes and switch out winter clothes with summer clothes. So that'll be something probably I work on later this month. If you haven't noticed, I fold everything downstairs on my bed, and the girls' clothes I put in these smaller baskets. That way I make sure that the load doesn't get too big, because folding these clothes takes forever. There's just so many of them that can fit into one load of laundry, so when you're folding it, it just seems like it takes forever. I am also really bad about leaving everything inside out when I put it in the washing machine. That just adds more time when I'm trying to fold clothes and turn everything right side out. But one thing that does bother me is having a ton of clothes that need to be folded. I'd rather have a pile of dirty clothes in the laundry room than have a pile of clean clothes that I need to fold. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you are the same way or if you're opposite. Would you rather have a pile of clean clothes to fold or a pile of dirty clothes sitting in your laundry room?
Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some.
So you know when you have a space that's kind of unorganized, but you don't really know that it's unorganized until you see somebody else clean it? Well, yeah, that's kind of what happened to me here and pretty much every single cabinet in my kitchen. I can barely get to anything or find anything in this cabinet, so I had this brilliant idea 2 months ago. Yes, 2 months ago, that I was going to find all of this product and make this whole cabinet pretty and organize it, and then I kind of just got stuck. I didn't know what to buy. I didn't know how to make it functional. I didn't really know what would fit in the space, so I just took a trip to Target and bought 2 little racks. I said, you know, I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna worry about trying to get all of these cool fancy products. I'm just gonna get 2 racks and clean it out and make it as functional as possible. I didn't really measure anything before I got it, and we have a reverse osmosis, I think that's what it's called, in there. So that huge tank, it helps our water. It's supposed to filter our water, and it basically takes up all of this cabinet space. So I basically bought 2 racks, one that I could put on each side. So they are sliding drawers, and basically I put one of them in and realized, yep, I definitely don't have room for both of them. So now I'm just trying to decide which one I want to use. I knew that there was a possibility that they both wouldn't fit, but that's okay. I would just use one in another cabinet, probably my bathroom cabinet, because I'm horrible about returning things, which I need to get a lot better at. But what I've found with organizing products is that if it doesn't fit in one of your spaces, I mean, there's probably a ton of other spaces that you can use the same exact product. So I decided to use this drawer and put all of the soap rags and stuff, and anything that is associated with the dishwasher, I was going to put on the top. Everything on this side I went through and emptied out, and I'm just putting everything back. I do have it somewhat categorized, but here's the thing, here's my theory. It's better to just start and get it done and fix it later. I can find something else that fits in that space later than to just procrastinate and leave it undone for several months. I'm switching out the laundry, and one thing that I put in with my towels and sheets and stuff is this glamorous wash. It just put a little drop in there, and it actually makes it smell really, really nice. So moving on to another day, I am going to take off all the sheets of both of my girls' beds and also wash that. I don't typically get everything done in one day, and if I do, I track my steps and make it more of a workout. If you see my extreme clean video, you'll see it there. But majority of the time, it's lots of cleaning done over several days. That's just something that's more realistic for me. Okay, let's talk a little bit about reality. I have been avoiding picking up this playroom probably for a week. I just blocked it out. I won't go in here, and now it's time for me to just get it done and get it cleaned up.
I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause
I shared a little bit on perfectionism earlier in this video, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. But I can't really explain it right unless I start with my story. I started a blog in 2016 hoping to help people with their fitness goals. Fitness has always been a big part of my life because it helped with a lot of depression that I had when I was younger. The goal was to always help people overcome that, and I started following a lot of fitness models and fitness inspiration, and soon I just became trapped in comparing and perfecting. I stopped that blog because I felt like I didn't look good enough. I didn't look like these fitness models. I didn't have enough. I wasn't as pretty as all of them, and I fell into that trap of comparison. Fast forward to about 6 months ago, I started my YouTube channel, and I did that to connect and motivate and help other moms just like me. I like decor and home inspiration, and one of my Christmas videos did really well. With that, I was super grateful, but along with that, I got lots of negative comments. Some of these comments went along the lines of, I'm showing off how much I have, I'm showing off my house, showing off how much money I make, and all of these things. And I know that what's happening is that we're watching this stuff and we're falling into that trap of comparison. The backstory is that I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I was raised by a single mom. We moved a lot. I was just okay in school. I struggled a lot. I forced myself to go to college, but when I went to college, I couldn't afford a university, so I started off at a community college. I worked full time and went to night school. My classes were at 10 o'clock at night sometimes, and it ended up taking me 6 years to graduate. After I graduated college, I was super happy, but I was in a lot of debt. And then I started comparing myself to other people, thinking that it still wasn't good enough. But here's what I've learned. If we deprive ourselves of gratitude, then we will always stay focused on the things that we don't have. Be curious, but don't compare. There's always going to be someone out there who is richer, prettier, smarter, has a way cleaner house, and has their stuff together. But don't compare. And the way that I know how to do that is just to be grateful for what you have. I am grateful for all of the hard experiences that I went through when I was younger, because that led me to where I am now. I am so grateful for my 2 beautiful, healthy daughters, even more so because miscarried before I had them. I am grateful for my supportive husband who helps me even when people comment that I'm too good to do it on my own. And I don't have a whole ton of subscribers, but I have all of you, and I am so grateful for each and every one of your time and support. Brene Brown does an amazing talk on all of this, and I'm actually going to link her talk down below if you're interested in checking it out. Her talks and books have really just changed my thinking for the positive in so many ways. I hope that wasn't too much to take in, but let me know in the comments below what you're grateful for.
And we could have some fun. No problems coming in our way. I would like you just the way you are, and you would like me just the way I am, and I would like you just the way.
Alright, I've cleaned this playroom so many times, and I always have to check all of the little purses and pockets because I swear we lost the remote one time for 2 weeks, and I looked in one of these little backpacks, which I had never used to look in them before, and we found all sorts of stuff, including the remote. So now I just empty out everything and make sure that there's nothing important in there.
We shouldn't care about anyone who brings us down. Doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like to do, what you like to do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do.
Cleaning up the playroom takes me around 1 to 2 hours. I know where everything goes because I have all of the bins categorized, so it's more so just putting it where everything belongs instead of spending a lot of time trying to figure out what to do with something. Now when I vacuum, I seem to always pick up extra little stuff. The carpet is kind of shaggy as well as the rug, so there's always hidden stuff in there, and you hear that click clink from the vacuum. And it used to be those small Legos all the time, but I had to put those away and they have not come back out since. The girls got into makeup and colored all over that pink chair, so I'm just gonna worry about that later. Now I do have a few bins of toys that I rotate downstairs. I used to get really nervous about showing everyone how many toys we had because it is a lot. But now I do try and declutter. I am going to go through their toys again. I did a massive declutter a few months ago, but I realized that in this stage of life, they're just gonna have a lot more toys. I know that once they get older, they're not gonna need massive playrooms, probably video game rooms or something, but I have just come to accept that, you know, it's not gonna be forever. This is just a phase of our lives, and I'm just going to enjoy it while I can. So the side of our couch is so dirty. This is where our black lab likes to sit. So a light couch, black lab, light rug doesn't really always go together. And my daughter walks by and we're not even paying attention, and I can't believe she's got her older sister's underwear on over her pants. She wants to be just like her big sister, and I just thought that was funny. This is my first time actually shampooing this couch. I was kind of nervous because I've tried to use like a carpet or couch cleaning on this couch before, and it turned colors, like it made it almost like it tried to bleach it out. So I had recently just shampooed our rug in my last video, so now I am attempting to do our couch. This is just the handheld connection of that same shampooer, which is the Bissell Pet Pro, and it's doing a decent job. I'm not giving it a lot of water. Like, the more that you squeeze, the more water that it will shoot out. But because I'm kind of nervous, I don't want it to be a super discolored or anything like that. I'm just giving it a little bit of water and see how it turns out.
So we can try to make it simple, try to talk about what's on our mind.
Next, I'm going to try it on these chairs. So I pretty much ruined these chairs trying to clean them one time. I had actually filmed a long time ago how to get stains out of a mattress, and I never posted it. The formula was to use hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and dish soap, and I went and used it on a stain in my daughter's room, and it worked very well. And then I went and used it on one of our pillows, and that worked really well too. It got the stain out. And then it said that you can use on other types of fabrics, I think, and I went and used it on these chairs, and it stained them worse. If you can see closely, there's actually lines where I applied it, and then there's like a ring line around where it dried. So don't expect anything special to happen out of shampooing these chairs, but I just figure that they can't get any more stained than they already are, so might as well try. So I definitely don't recommend using that solution on, maybe it's just this type of fabric or the chairs or anything other than a mattress. Even the mattress, because there was too much, maybe I put too much baking soda, it made the spot kind of hard. So I just didn't really recommend doing that, although it did get the stain out. But if you have any other suggestions on what I can do to get the stains out of these chairs, then I would be happy to hear. This rug is pretty dirty too, and I figured while I have the shampooer out, I might as well just take care of this rug as well. It's in a high traffic area, so it's obvious that it is bound to get dirty. And why I pick out light colored rugs, I don't know. I just like them, which means that I just have to deal with the dirt and everything that comes with it. Now I'm just checking underneath to make sure that there is no moisture, or if there is moisture that it will just dry. So cleaning this thing out is always fun. There's always lots of dark, dirty water in here, but I did want to share that I got a suggestion. I used some of the solution that came with it or that was recommended for this shampooer, but someone recommended to use 1 tablespoon of Tide Powers, only Powers, not liquid, and it'll make your rugs and carpet look great. So the next time I do that, I'm going to try and find that suggestion. So thank you, Donna, for the tip.
They look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us, thinking we are too much. Look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us. Why do I need to be good all the time? I'm wrapped around his finger, but he is mine. Don't care what.
This is about an hour later, and I do notice that it did get out some of the dirt, not 100%, but it does look a little bit better. Now the chairs are still soaking wet. They take forever to dry. So this is actually a few days later, and they are cleaner, but those stains are still there. You can kind of see them on the side.
Don't wanna think about.
Now this is the part where you need to beware. I actually saw an Instagram story on Go Clean Co. on their Instagram, and they were cleaning out the rubber inside of the washing machine. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not the best, most perfect cleaner in the world. I'm just a mom, and I was like, you know, I have never cleaned out the inside seal of the washing machine. Am I supposed to do that? And yeah, wow, that is pretty disgusting. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually really hard to film. I have a light I'm trying to hold the camera, and then I'm trying to open up the flap and then also clean it at the same time. So I'm trying to get the best shots that I can. I mean, but you guys can see, like, this is pretty gross. But as they say, better late than never. So as I'm cleaning it, I pulled it back even more, the seal back, and I noticed there is so much mold and hair in there, and I'm just trying to get it out. Obviously, I came back and was like, yeah, I should probably wear gloves. So don't worry, I washed my hands, but I ended up putting some gloves on and getting in there.
Too late anyway. Why do I need to be good all the time? Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah. Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah, yeah. Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah. Nah, nah, nah. No drama, no drama, yeah, yeah.
I used so many rags or Clorox wipes to clean this, but I think for the most part, I got most of it cleaned. I go back and look through, and then I actually go back around one more time without filming, just because it's a little bit easier to do without filming, because I noticed that there is still a little bit more that I have to wipe down. My last and final task is conquering the oven. I don't think that I have ever cleaned the oven. As you can see, I actually haven't even really thought about it. There's a self-clean on there, and I should probably use that, figure that out, and do that, but it just hasn't really been a priority until it needed to be a priority, which is now. I saw this on a channel, Marriage and Motherhood, and she got this from a TikTok video. And basically it is 1.5 cups of baking soda, 1/4 of a cup of vinegar, and 1/2 of a cup of Dawn soap, all mixed together.
I feel like every word is so translucent.
I'm wiping down the oven first, just with a paper towel and water, and just getting everything out of the oven first before I use the solution.
In the room, surrounded by people I couldn't care, yeah, but nobody but
Now I'm going to use the solution and just clean half of the glass part in the oven and see how big of a difference it makes, if it does make a difference. From here, just comparing the two, you can already see the big difference that each side makes. So now I'm just wiping it down with water so you can actually see the difference in the two. And in the meantime, I have my girls just making a mess, but it's keeping them entertained, so that's a win for me. So now I'm going to work on the other half and just go through the other half and see if it cleans it just as well.
Everything is alright. I'm hoping what I said could make you change your mind, though it doesn't really matter when my hands are tied. I'm trying to walk across the bridges that I've burned. My only way to you is gone, the tide has turned. So give me a light, show me what I need. I know I'm blind, but
Although the solution cleaned it really well, the only problem that I had with it is that it was really thick and it's really hard to clean up. That's what I felt like. It's almost like when you clean something with a lot of soap, but then you just can't ever get all of the soap up. That's kind of how I felt with this. So I kept using water to try and get the solution off of the oven and get it all cleaned up. I ended up getting one of those microfiber rags so that it would absorb everything, but the oven did smell like super soapy. Even when I cooked something in it, although my food didn't taste soapy, the oven smelt that way. So maybe next time I would use a little bit less solution or just keep it on the glass part. But overall, it did get the oven looking a lot cleaner than before. And now that I got that done, then let's go upstairs and see the damage. It's not absolutely terrible, but I did just clean it. But one thing that I have to work on is figuring out how to get this stain out of this chair. I'm using this Fullex stain remover spray, and this is a combination of like makeup and lipstick, I think, and a little bit of crayon. But I was actually worried to use this because the last time I used it on the rug, it changed the rug. It made it slightly discolored. So I was scared that it was going to like bleach out the chair or make spots on the chair. But I figured this chair is going to be stained anyway, so might as well try. And to my disbelief, this is getting this stain out so good. And it's not discoloring the chair. It's not bleaching the chair out or anything like that. It is literally picking up the stain. And I have left this chair this way for probably a good week. So this is not a stain that just happened and I have to hurry up and get it out. This stain has been sitting here for a while. And I'm just in complete shock. And where are my multitasking moms right now? A little behind the scenes of what I'm doing while I'm actually getting the stain out.
I think about all the years I made up, and I think I'm running out of time. Don't want a day when I say goodbye now, 'cause you leave a shiver down my spine. Don't let me
So while this stuff is a complete miracle, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. This was a longer video, so I really hope that you enjoyed it and you got a lot of inspiration and motivation out of it. If you did like this video, then make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already.
play, don't like the game, 'cause I will stay and I will wait for you. what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. You're probably wondering, based on the title of this video, what in the world is this video about? And it is packed full of cleaning motivation, and if you have been here before, you know that I like to motivate you and just make you feel important and connected in all different aspects of your life. So in this video, I am just picking up a ton of messes that my kids have left. I'm folding a ton of laundry, giving you all this motivation. And while I was just in my thoughts doing all of this, I just had an overwhelming sense of mom guilt flow over me. And I know that I'm not the only person who has ever experienced this or whoever will experience this. So I do have a story about that, and hopefully it can help you in any way if you've ever experienced any of these emotions. I will get into that a little bit later, but if you are new here, my name is Michelle. I'm a mom of two small girls, Sailor, who is 3, and Savannah, who is 21 months old. I'm going to get started first in the master bedroom, where I'm just going to make the bed and fold everything. That way I can get ready to do some serious laundry. Before I do that though, I'm going to open up the blinds and wipe down some of our windowsills, where we just get so many different types of bugs and dirt, and I don't clean it as often as I should.
About anyone who brings us down.
If you happen to have a chance to see my pantry reorganization video, I mentioned this traumatizing story about having pantry moths all over, and it took forever to get rid of them. And then also in one of my other videos, I stated that we had a mouse in our house, and it's interesting to see how many other people have experienced similar things. But in my pantry organization video, I had received a comment. I had stated that we had the exterminator come out, and I had him look at some of the bugs that were in our pantry, and they responded back, you know, do not ever use an exterminator. They are so harmful. All of the chemicals they use are just really harmful to you and your family. And I had to point out that I really don't use them on the inside. I just use them to help exterminate on the outside. So actually, speaking of that, I recently got this Bug MD to try out, and it's essential oil powered, and it's super safe to use. It even says you can use it on vegetables, and safe for your kids and pets to use around the house. There's only 2 ingredients, and it's made with 50% clove oil and 50% cottonseed oil. Some of the insects that it fights against are fleas, mice, ticks, household roaches, bed bugs, and more. And I actually have an interesting and disgusting tick story to share as well. It's actually really easy to use. So there is a label spray bottle so that you don't have to use disposable bottles, but it also comes with a concentrate bottle. So all you have to do is mix the whole bottle of concentrate into the spray bottle, and then you're going to fill the spray bottle up with water. I just used warm water and then filled it up to the top. Next, I'm just mixing the solution with the water a little bit, and then I plan to go and use it around the baseboards. I smelt it there because it actually smelled really good, because it's just made with pure essential oils. But I typically see most of our bugs in either the baseboards or in like our windowsill areas. So I plan to just go spray a little bit on some of the windowsills where I see the majority of the bugs. And it was just a coincidence. When I lifted up the blinds in our dining room, I actually saw a little ant kind of crawling around there, and I decided this is like a perfect time to actually try it out and see if it really works. So I just sprayed like 1 or 2 squirts directly onto the ant to see if it would actually work. I was super surprised because it was probably less than a minute, it had killed the ant. That just goes to show that you don't need all these toxic chemicals to keep insects out of your house. What I really like and recommend about Bug MD is that it is super easy to use without harming your kids, and the number one thing is that it's made from purely essential oils. Also, as you saw, it was fast and effective. So be sure to click on the link below to get 20% off of your Bug MD Essential Pest Control Spray today.
Yeah, he sets my body in motion. He knows how to turn things up. And he knows what gets me going. Yeah, like a little text saying, hey, what's up? They look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us, thinking we are too much. Look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us. Why do I need to be good all the time? I'm wrapped around his finger, but he is mine. Don't care what they say, too late anyway. Why do I need to be good all the time? Yeah, he gets when I'm in a bad mood. Then he knows how to make it alright. Yeah, I get that he got a history, but I don't wanna think about no other than us. They look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking.
So if you can't already tell, I have tons of laundry to do. I fell behind over the last couple of days, and now it's time to finally catch up on that. So I was sitting here doing laundry actually when I got the idea to do this video and talk about something that I thought was just really important. In one of my previous videos, I opened up a little bit about a struggle that I had, and I got a lot of positive feedback, and I actually had a lot of you say that it had helped you and that you want to hear more about struggles and overcoming struggles. So I thought that this might be helpful to share. I see a lot of other mom life cleaning videos out there. I think Becky Moss has an excellent one. You should go check hers out. And it's like this community that we can all kind of talk and relate to and just feel like we're connected and not alone. But one thing that is a little bit different that I haven't shared too much, I just didn't know how relevant it really was, is that I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I am working from home because of COVID, and I am not the picture-perfect homemaker either. Hence why I ask you guys for so much advice when cleaning certain things, because although I know how to do the basics, I just have always been so tied into my work, and this is the most ever in my life that I probably have been home. I mentioned before that I had worked my way through college, and my dream was always to be a working mom or a working woman, and I always wanted a corner office. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be someone who was very successful, and I feel like I've accomplished a lot of the things that I've wanted. I worked really hard in my career to be where I wanted to be, and then I got pregnant. I knew that I wanted to stay working, and while I was pregnant with Sailor, I had a lot of questions from people like, why aren't you going to stay home with your kid? Why wouldn't you at least take a year or two off? Or why are you really going to send your kid to daycare? Do you really want someone else raising your child? I remember feeling so confident in my decision to keep on working, but I just had this overwhelming feeling of guilt. I remember feeling so judged sometimes for wanting to go back to something that made me me and something that I had worked so hard for. I got to stay home with both of my daughters for about 8 months combined, so I got a little bit of taste of what stay-at-home mom was like as well. And when people say being a stay-at-home mom is the hardest job in the world, that is no joke. It is beyond difficult because you have so much guilt and judgment being a stay-at-home mom as well. When I was at home not working, I had a sense of judgment, like, am I not contributing enough? Am I not working hard enough? People would think, what do you do all day? You're just sitting at home all day. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. I'm not thinking. I can't even breastfeed correctly. Like, everything was just all off. I felt guilty for ever asking for help because, you know, as a mom, you think that we have to have it all together all the time. And the truth is that we don't. And the thing is that we're all in this together. Being a stay-at-home mom is difficult. A working mom is difficult. They are different types of hard, but one hard doesn't make the other hard any easier. The thing that I have learned is to not judge any other mom, because you don't know what situation they're in, what they've been through, what they're struggling with. They are having their own kind of hard. The one thing that we can do is empathize. We can trade judgment for empathy. If I were in your shoes, it would be such a struggle. And you know what? I'm here for you. I'm listening. I know. I have also learned to not let guilt, judgment ever cross my mind. For example, the very first day that I dropped Sailor off at her first day of daycare, she was just a baby in the infant room, and I was leaving to go to my first day of work, and I was so confident in my decision, like I said before, but I just had this shame come through me, like, what am I doing? Why am I dropping her off? She needs to be with me. But I remember when we went to meet the teachers for the first time, the teacher held her and just looked at her and smiled, and I screenshotted that picture in my head. So anytime throughout the day that I just felt like, what is she doing? Is she okay? That picture would instantly pop into my mind. I would not let a negative feeling or a negative thought cross my mind. I would count down from 5, change my thought, think of that picture, and just know that she's okay. And, you know, it's okay to take time to yourself sometimes. It's okay to go to work. It's okay to go for a walk. It's okay to go get a massage or do something for yourself. We shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to do some things for ourselves. We can love our child and love ourselves at the same time and not feel like we can only choose one or the other. Next time you feel a sense of mom guilt come through, just remember that you can love yourself too and love your kid, and you can go for a walk. You can take time to yourself. You can screenshot that moment of your child, so if any of those emotions come through, you just reject them and you just put in a positive moment. And trust me, you will feel so much better and so much less guilty. But if you've ever experienced any type of mom guilt and you found any of this helpful, then leave me a comment below. I would love to know that it is a little bit helpful. But thank you guys for listening. That was a long stretch of talking. So now I promise I'm going to get back into the cleaning. So I picked up most of the toys that were in the living room and I just piled everything to the stairs. I am bringing everything upstairs. The playroom is actually a complete disaster. I don't end up getting to it this day, but I do get to it the next day. Here I'm switching out some of the girls' artwork, some of their recent artwork from school. I have this little collage in the game room and I just put their artwork there. So Sailor got into the Play-Doh and that sadly sat in our house overnight, so it's actually hardened up a little bit, which is kind of good. So I finally cleaned up that Play-Doh and I am tackling the dishes next.
Believe me when I say that you can tell me anything. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. Up your mind, now I'm here by your side. So let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. Oh, I will hold you in the dark, make it for
filling up our ice tray. I don't know about you guys, but we have a Samsung refrigerator, and I feel like a lot of people I know with Samsung refrigerators, their ice machine always goes out. So ours will go out, and then I don't know what my husband does, but he fixes it, and then it'll go out again, and I'm not sure what's up with it. But does anyone else have issues with their ice maker, or what causes it to go out or stop working so much? Leave me a comment below and let me know.
You in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me. I wanna be a weekend lover. Yeah, I'ma be the best damn lover you got.
Since in my last few videos I have been tackling some of the drawers and cabinets in our kitchen, now all of the other kitchen cabinets are super annoying me, so I think that I'm just going to spend a day and just tackle all of the kitchen cabinets and do a complete kitchen organization, because it is just starting to bother me now. So hopefully I can get that video up pretty soon.
Feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling.
So this is the V8 cordless Dyson vacuum, and we actually had the V7 as well. We got it from Costco a long time ago, and I absolutely love this vacuum. But I know that a lot of other channels they use the Dyson V10 animal cordless vacuum, and if anyone has ever owned both the V8 and the V10, can you let me know in the comments below if you think that the V10 is worth the extra splurge, just because I'm really curious if there is a difference between the two.
The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. Ever happened to you? Here's your time to shine. Now show me what you can do. Make a move. The way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. Every breath that we're taking.
Next, I am going to get to the playroom. I have the kids with me, so I have asked them to help out a little bit, and we'll see how they do. So first thing first, they think that it is so funny to get the balls from the ball pit and throw them over the balcony and make a mess all over the living room. And somebody asked me before, do you ever tell your kids no, or tell them not to do it? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I tell them no every single day. But sometimes kids will just be kids. And I've also just found, for me personally, if they are doing something that is not dangerous and it is distracting them for a minute while I get something else done, then I will just let them do it. I will let them make the mess, and I can clean it up later. Unless it's like a catastrophic mess, I just find it easier to just let them do it and then try and pick it up later.
Your hands touching my hand, want your fingers everywhere. Don't wanna wake up. Wish that I was brave, but I've never been the one. Wish that we could stay like this. I wanna stay. Wish that I was brave, but I never.
Some people ask how long does it usually take for me to pick up the playroom, and it's really not too long. Once I get going, I would say between an hour to an hour and a half, just depending on how much clutter there is. But when I have the girls helping me, it tends to take a little bit longer. Even though I am trying to teach them to pick up things, they get distracted very easily and then quickly go start making a mess again. So if I do it by myself, I would say between an hour and a half. When they are helping, it's probably closer to 1 to 2 hours. I did an extreme toy organizing, I think it was back in October, and I did a video on that because we had a lot of toys downstairs in bins, and the toys would just get shoved on the bins and I wouldn't even know what was in them. So I cleared out a ton of toys, and it's been really manageable the way that I've been doing it now. I have clear containers so that I can see what toys there are. I do rotate some toys downstairs, although I should do it more often than I do now. But having a system and knowing what toys I have and where each toy goes really helps when I'm trying to clean up the mess.
Wish I got superpowers.
The next thing that I ended up deciding to do was actually vacuum up and shampoo the upstairs. The upstairs had not been shampooed in a really long time because now that the girls are getting a little bit older, they're playing a lot more upstairs than they do downstairs. So I decided that it was a good time to take care of that.
A penny for your thought. I wanna know what's inside that heart of yours. Ooh, I feel paper thin. Ooh.
I'm moving some stuff out of the way, but I'm not going to completely clean out the playroom in order to do this. So I'm just going to do the main areas because those are probably the dirtiest.
But underneath, I know you're hiding something. Do you let anyone get under your skin? I just wanna get to know you, so would you let me get to know you, boy? You feel so far away, though you're close. There's your heart, I don't wanna.
This shampooer, it's the Bissell Pet Pro shampooer, and it just leaves the best vacuum marks, or should I say shampoo marks, and it's just super satisfying. I use the cordless Dyson vacuum upstairs. Usually when I'm just doing a quick clean, I'll use that vacuum. I like that it's cordless, quick and easy. But if I plan on doing like a deep vacuum, then I like to use my Shark. I don't have the deep clean Dyson vacuum. I'm not sure if it's worth the splurge. So if you are familiar with that and you've used it and you think it's worth the splurge, then leave me a comment below. Otherwise, I'll just stick to my Shark for deep vacuuming. I haven't used a ton of other kinds of shampooers, but this one is by far my favorite. It works great and I like it. So for now, I don't see a reason to change.
Would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy?
This area that I'm vacuuming here is like the entryway to the playroom, so I expect this to be a lot more dirty than the actual playroom. I actually wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't think that it would be that dirty at all, just because we haven't been upstairs a whole lot, but I was surprised to see that it was pretty dirty. But I have said this before, the darker the water, the better I feel, because that just means that it is all clean and it makes me feel so good.
So, would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy?
Lastly, I'm going to show you guys what I made for dinner. Sometimes I like to organize my meals in this little tray. So for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, whichever nights I'm cooking, I just kind of separate it. Tonight, I'm going to be cooking a turkey taco chili. I am all for super easy meals, and this one is very easy. All you do is put in half of an onion. Then you're going to add the ground turkey. I put it just directly in the bowl. Let that fully cook for a few minutes. Once that's fully cooked, then I add the rest of the ingredients, which is super easy. It is just a tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 packet of taco seasoning, 1 packet of the ranch seasoning. Then you're going to just mix all of that up with the meat. This recipe is actually on the Jenny O's turkey meat, and I kind of just changed it up a little bit with whatever ingredients that I had, but I've had it before and it is super good. Next, you're going to do 4 cups of broth. I use chicken broth, and that just ends up being the whole container. And next you're going to add 1 can of corn. Make sure you drain it. I didn't drain it before I did this. And also 1 can of Rotel, and then 2 cans of beans. I use pinto beans. I think the recipe says to use black beans as well. And then you just let it cook for 20 to 30 minutes. And I am going to end the video here, but thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you're subscribed and click that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much.
So let me put a smile upon your face.
You were my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep. In your worn out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever. Driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in too deep.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today's video is a supreme clean, and I don't know why I thought of that word, but when I think of it, I think of a supreme pizza, which just means that it contains a little bit of everything. I have dishes, laundry, vacuuming, scrubbing. I'm trying out my new Tyneco vacuum mop that everyone has been raving about, so I purchased myself one just so that I can try it out and you guys can hear my thoughts on that. And I also have some major decluttering. If you are new here, my name is Michelle and I'm a mom of 2 little girls, Sailor and Savannah. My videos are particularly different because the cleaning motivation is just a small part of the package that you get with me. My goal is to motivate you in all aspects of your life, and I hope that you get that when you watch this video. But clean along with me, let's get our spaces picked up, and let's make this fun while we do it. Now that my kitchen drawers and cabinets are clean, while I'm unloading the dishwasher, I can actually show you a prettier sight than it was before. So that's where I ended in my last video, was totally reorganizing most of my kitchen. And in this video, I'm starting off in the kitchen, unloading the dishwasher and getting some dishes done.
Too deep. So I am going to wipe down our pretty big island. We have a
fairly big kitchen, but one flaw I find with this is, other than that it's a lot to clean, is that we kind of sacrificed having a breakfast area in order to have like a bigger island. We didn't design it that way, that was just the way that the house came, but before we had kids it was easier for us, but now that we have kids I kind of wish that we did have a breakfast area, that way we could all sit at. Now we do have a formal dining room area, but for some reason we just don't sit there that often. Do you guys sit at your formal dining room? I know growing up, whenever we had a breakfast area, we would sit at our formal dining room mainly for like Christmas or important dinners, but not so much as an everyday thing. So leave me a comment below. Let me know if it's more of like special occasion dinners or an everyday thing.
Finally, I paid my dues. Now you play the blues. Bottom line, you're out of time. Now you're gonna learn what it's like to lose. You took something beautiful and made it something cruel. It's all that I get from you. You're so delusional. Now watch me take control.
So whenever I do a big project, and maybe you can also relate, whenever you're working on something, like last week I was working on the kitchen, organizing that, so all the other chores like laundry and everything else just fell behind because that was my main focus for the week. So that's why I have so much laundry to do.
I'm gonna stick it to you. Let you go, let you go, let you go. I'm gonna stick it to you.
I have those little laundry baskets that I put the girls' clothes in whenever I am folding it. My whole intent behind having really small baskets was that once their clothes fills up to one of the smaller baskets, then I'm just going to go ahead and do a load. Because if I had a really large basket for their clothes, like I do my clothes or my husband's clothes, then it would take me forever to fold because their clothes are so much smaller. You're doing like double work. So I just thought, you know, I'm just going to have a small basket, and when that small basket gets full, then I'm going to do a load, and then that way it doesn't take me what feels like an hour to fold the clothes. I can do it fairly quickly. Most of the time that works, and that's why my folding baskets are so small, but sometimes in these cases I have so much to do, and it makes this basket look way too small.
Inside of me, it's a deep hole where I bleed.
So I mentioned in a previous video that my husband typically does his own laundry. That works out for us. So today I'm going to be nice and actually help him out and fold his clothes. Well, and because I need to switch the laundry and I don't want clean clothes all over the bed.
When you hold me, when you close, I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's.
This is one of the cabinets that I just reorganized. I love having those little bamboo dividers. I had it on backwards, so I just switched it around. But it feels so much better to have an organized kitchen. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit around the living room before I get to the floors. So my kids drew all over this little table with their crowns, and the wipe wasn't working, so I actually went and grabbed a magic eraser. I just cut it in half and put a little bit of water on it. I thought that it would come up super easy, but I'm just sitting there scrubbing as hard as I can. And eventually it did come up, but it was a lot harder than I thought.
Everything everything feels.
So we have a black lab and she just turned 11 and she is not allowed on the couch. She knows that. She's got 2 beds and recently she's been getting on our couch. So if you can tell, a black lab and a light couch don't typically mix well together. So I do have to vacuum often anyway. I can take the cushions off the couch, but it is such a pain to put them back on. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I should probably do it more often. I just hate putting them and trying to zip them back in. Our rug has spots and stains all over it. You can't see it too much here, but up close you can. So I'm going to use our Full-X stain remover cleaner. These spots have been here for a while. It does an okay job, but I'm gonna try anyway. So this vacuum / mop came in. It's the Tyneco iFloor 3 and people have been raving about it. I saw someone posted that it was discounted, so I actually bought it from Amazon and I was going to try it out. They say that it is a famous TikTok cleaning appliance and I haven't seen any of the TikTok videos, but I was super curious and wanted to get it and try it out. So it actually had really good reviews on Amazon, so I did a little bit of research on it, but not to the extent that I normally would have. But I'm just taking it out. It's cordless and I'm trying to maneuver and get all the parts set up so that I can test it out. It came with the handle to put it together. It came with one thing of the Tyneco solution. These little things just go on the bottom of it and you can like store the scrubber and different stuff in there. It also came with a plug so that the black thing is the charger and you actually just set it onto the charger so that it'll charge. The little brush roller there is removable. That way you can clean it if you need to. There's a self-clean option on there and I promise I used it twice before I figured out the self-clean, which is super easy. I just didn't take the time to read the directions 100%. I just kind of skimmed through them. But next time I'll definitely do the self-clean a lot better. So it came with 2 canisters. You have to put it in a certain way, in a certain tilt to get it in right correctly. One canister has a filter and it gets all of the dirt, and one canister is for the solution. The top has several settings, like if it's charging, if it's self-cleaning, if the canister is full, if you need more solution. I did a quick test real quick and y'all, this is what my floor picked up the very first time. I'll show you in a minute how everything works, but I had to test it out quickly to make sure that I knew how to use it before I wanted to film it. Because it acts as a vacuum and a mop at the same time, you're going to get a lot more debris in there as if you were to just use it as a straight mop.
Yeah, but they say I don't know where you come from. I don't. You seem too nice to be alone. So lonely. I see you go.
Now that I've used it once and cleaned it, I'm going to try and put it back together and show you guys how it works. So the one canister, that's like a little filter that holds all the debris, and then the filter at the top you have to take on and off and clean. So basically I'm just putting it back together, and that's what holds all of the dirty water once it's done. This canister is where you put the solution in. You just get 1 cap of the solution and fill it to the water line. It does say to only use this Tyneco solution. So I'm just putting the solution on. That's the self-clean button, so when you're done, and then on the handle there's a max button and a power button. So it is cordless and super lightweight. All I did was just bend it, and then as you can see, it is vacuuming and mopping up the floors. After using it a couple times, I think that it is absolutely worth it, especially if you have a lot of hard floors like hardwood, tile, laminate. If you have a lot of it in the area like I do, it just makes it so much easier. The only thing that I notice is that it doesn't work on carpeted area, so I still had to get my Dyson out and vacuum up the rug. But you can see just in the little area that I did how much water, dirty water, it already picked up. And there you can see with all the dog hair. But before, if you've seen in a lot of my other videos, I would get the Dyson out and I would go through the whole kitchen and downstairs area vacuuming up with my Dyson, and then I would either get my steam mop out or my Shark power mop and then go through the same area again and mop. So this pretty much eliminated my time in half. I only had to get my vacuum out to vacuum my rugs, and then I just went through with this on all the hardwood floors and it vacuumed and mopped it up at the same time.
I need some time. I wanna go home, love. I wanna go home. I just wanna go home. No, 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 no. I wanna go home.
So I just cleaned the whole downstairs area, and that is how much water, dirty water and debris came out, and that is how much solution I still have available in the tank. It dried pretty quickly. You can see that the first part of the house all the way by the door is already dry, and then this area I kind of just vacuum.
Feel the truth, the waste your life away, sitting on your fingertips, so I know what you'll say. Baby, don't bother, you know it hurts.
One thing that I didn't do that I should have done, and I'll know for next time, is click the self-clean button. I put it on the charger and it said self-clean, and I didn't actually click the self-clean button. It would have gotten all of that dirt out of there into the canister, other than having to take everything apart and clean it. You do still have to clean that canister after you click self-clean, but it gets it out of the tube already and kind of cleans out the brush and everything. I figured that out after I already did all this and cleaned all of this out. So after I had already cleaned out the canister, this is where I noticed that I should have done the self-clean, and I didn't get it on camera, but it was so funny. I clicked the self-clean button and the water was trying to shoot up, but I couldn't get that canister on. I didn't have the top on right. So just a total Michelle moment for sure. And now I am on to the playroom. This playroom is a disaster so much of the time. I don't clean it every single day, otherwise I would just get so stressed out. So I usually try and do it either once or twice a week. You guys know that I have been using Skillshare for a while now, and before I get started, I'm going to hop on a Skillshare class. This way I can listen to it while I'm cleaning. If you're not familiar with Skillshare, it's an online learning platform. So with less than $10 a month, you can get a membership to this platform, and basically you can take any types of classes that you're interested in. They have creative classes, they have cooking classes, they have photography classes, anything that you're interested in, you can pretty much find. As a creator, I like to listen to classes that right now help me get motivated, get started, and any types of business classes. So I'm actually listening to, I found Gary Vaynerchuk's class on here. And a funny story about Gary Vaynerchuk, if you're not familiar with him, he is a marketing guru and owns a media company. What's funny is in 2014, I found an online personal trainer because if you don't remember, I am into like health and fitness and living a healthy lifestyle. And one of my friends recommended this personal trainer, and I used him as an online coach, and I loved him and I had excellent results. But then he went and became Gary Vaynerchuk's personal trainer, like in-person trainer. So anyway, that's how I found out who Gary Vaynerchuk was, and decided to take his class. But later on, and this class is probably more helpful to my overall audience, is I took a staff pick by Michelle B. She's a YouTuber, and I actually found her channel a long time ago, and I looked into this class, and it's called Designing the Life You Want. So you have 4 exercises for clarity and motivation. This class had over 20,000 students in it, and my goal for 2021 was to be open-minded, try new things, get more clarity, and just get motivated to get outside of my comfort zone. She had 4 different steps, and it's more about finding motivation and direction in your life. And her first activity was to find an anti-vision, so writing out a vision of your life that you don't want. And some of my examples were, I don't want to feel stuck or limited. I don't want to be afraid to try new things. I don't want to be afraid of other people's opinions or let that affect me. I don't want to be unhappy. And those were some examples of my anti-vision. Next was an 80-20 rule. Basically, 80% of the effects come from 20% of your causes. So she recommended going through your calendar for the last 6 months and determining the activities that either made you feel good or didn't make you feel good. So some of my examples were like when I worked out, when I drank my daily greens, when I created content, when I helped someone. Those are things that made me feel good. And some of the things that didn't make me feel good were when I would stay up too late, when I would procrastinate to get something done, when I wouldn't have time to do my exercises and felt super stressed out. This exercise was supposed to make you have more clarity on the things that would make you feel good and the habits that you should continue to create, and maybe some of the habits that you should limit. And the last 2 things were creating values about the things that makes you the most happy, and also writing out what a perfect day would look like for you in the next 3 years. Some studies show that highly successful people, meaning people who are just happy in life, follow practices like this to get unstuck and just get more clarity and direction in their life, where they're at now and where they see themselves in the next few years. But I did really enjoy that class, and if you're interested in checking out Skillshare, the first 1,000 people to use the link will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership.
My head is dizzy like the purple haze. I don't know where we're going, but the clues that you are throwing are leading me back home to you. 'Cause you got me feeling like I'm lucid dreaming about the fire.
I am finally putting away some of the laundry upstairs. I'm excited because I started working on reorganizing and putting a little bit more decor in Savannah's room, which she still is in the nursery. So I'm excited to share that video in the next couple of weeks. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss it.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you, hit you up, I'm on the other side, I miss you, take you off, I came in way too strong, cannot keep it low key, got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof, auto, your taste, it's really a bad reception out there, where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me? I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you, telling you that I need you.
So this vacuum canister was already a little bit full. I hadn't emptied it the last time I used the vacuum. So what you see in here is actually from probably 2 different vacuums. This shark one is a little annoying because it's hard to get all of the dirt out.
Every time you walk away from me, I want you.
Now I am going to put our sheets on. I saw this tip in one of Brittany Vassar's videos, and she said that whenever you are putting sheets on the bed, the tag on the sheet will always be on the bottom right. So now whenever I make my bed, I look for the tag and I always put it on the bottom right of the bed.
I've lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post. There's no denial, I'm chasing ghosts. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post, hitting you up but I'm stuck on hold. It's really a bad reception out there, where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer? radar now. I've lost you.
So I am going to finally declutter my makeup drawers. Y'all, this is kind of embarrassing. I just purchased these plastic bins from Target. I think they are made by design. So I am going to take everything out and use my new plastic storage things to put my makeup in. You're going to laugh when I tell you this, but the little bins that I have my makeup in now, y'all, those are Tupperware bins. I had an extra pack of Tupperware containers a long time ago, and when I guess I thought that was the right way to organize a long time ago, or I just didn't care enough, but I grabbed my extra Tupperware bins. They're probably like $1 and have been using that ever since. Now they're all dirty, they're cracked, and I need to throw them away. I started swapping out some of my makeup with the Arbonne makeup. This is the Arbonne concealer. I also have some of the CC cream, which is like a color correction cream. I also have several other things that I have been purchasing from Arbonne. If you're not familiar with Arbonne, they have a skincare, a wellness, and makeup line. All of their products are vegan, cruelty-free, and all natural. So Arbonne is a marketing company. So at first I did not want anything to do with it. And, you know, I always say that my goal is to be open and just listen more. And I know how some people feel about that, but I decided to stop being so judgmental towards marketing companies and give it a try as a new opportunity. The first thing that caught my eye was the Energy Fizz, which I use before I clean, and I told my consultant, if I don't like this fizz, then I'm out. I've done this before several years ago, and I did not believe in the product and did not like it. She told me it was great, and I wanted her to be wrong so I could prove a point, but I ended up being wrong because I really did like it, and that's what got me to try the other product. To be honest, I've always chose convenience over clean products, but now at 33 years old, I'm starting to see why it's important. When I was pregnant with Sailor, my first daughter, I had purchased some lip gloss, and I had a friend call me. She was pregnant at the time too and had also bought the same lip gloss, and she said, and she's in the medical field, and she said, hey, I know that you bought this lip gloss, but my doctor just said she didn't feel comfortable with me using it while I was pregnant. And I was like, okay, why? And she said, well, it has parabens in it. And I didn't know what that was. I didn't really care what that was, but I was like, you know, I should probably be looking into this as well. She said, you know, it's probably not going to do anything, or you shouldn't have anything to worry about, but I just wanted to let you know. And after just having a miscarriage, I was a little bit alarmed and concerned. So I stopped using that product, but I didn't go and look for cleaner products. So because the EWG scores, or the Environmental Working Group scores, are better on my Arbonne products than they are on the products that I'm currently using, and I wasn't completely sold on the products I was currently using, I decided to change it up. And now this takes the hassle of having to research ingredients, and I just know that I'm getting clean and effective products. So if you are in the market for trying some new things, then I will leave a link down below. So I've managed to sort out some of my makeup. Right now I'm using a makeup remover wipe to try and get some of the makeup out of these drawers.
I just wanna get close to you. Yeah, I wanna get close. I'm a fool.
I sorted my makeup into these plastic containers, and they are too long for this drawer. I was so bummed. I didn't measure them beforehand. I just assumed that they would fit because they are like standard drawer size, and they are off by like probably less than a half an inch. I have it in sideways. I'm thinking to myself, I am going to make this work because I really liked these little containers. This is just like a typical Michelle moment. Don't measure anything out because I always assume if it's not going to fit here, then it'll fit somewhere else. But in this case, I was pretty sure it was going to fit. Luckily, I had organized our kitchen last week, so I had extra of these little bins from Target because I had planned to use them in our drawers, but these were extras. So I remembered, I went and grabbed those, and I'm just switching out some of the makeup from the larger clear containers, and I'm putting them in here. The makeup stand that I have is actually used to be this side table that we got from Target, and it was like a dark brown wood, and I had painted this a long time ago. I painted it white and just switched the handles out, and that's why if there is like makeup and stuff sticking to it, it's because I probably didn't get the right paint whenever I did it, so it's kind of stained on there. I know that I just could repaint everything, but in my mind I keep telling myself I'm going to get a new makeup stand, so why do I need to paint it? And then I never end up getting a new makeup stand. Hence why the drawers are probably a lot shorter, because this is not a true makeup stand table. It's just what I've been using. Also, this mirror was painted as well. I think it used to be gold or brown color too, and I spray painted it gray. I've gotten comments from like when we did our dining room, we had painted that wall charcoal gray and grays in our room, and people just telling me that they just hate gray, and I totally get it. Gray is trending outward, and especially in 2021, a new decade, it's kind of been the main trend the last 5 years, but trends come and go, and you know, a lot of my stuff is still gray, so it's not that easy to just like totally get rid of everything that you own that's gray because it's on the outward trend. But if I will change up things here and there, but there are some grays that I still like, so I totally get it if you hate gray, but trends will always come and go, so it's always just important to get whatever you like.
Around me, I've been putting on my fake smile, even though I'm wasting time. I don't want to be trapped in a box, trying to be like the rest when I'm not. I just want to go my own way.
So this is actually all of the makeup that I ended up throwing out.
Be stuck in boring conversations with you. I'm gonna leave it all behind, find myself.
The last thing I'm going to do is vacuum the stairs. I was going up and down the stairs and I noticed that there was Lucky Charms and who knows what in these stairs. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you click that subscribe button if you're not already, and I will see you in my next video.
Said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're done. Sorry's won't be enough this time. Yeah, he's calling all his friends to get some action and distract him right now. He's fine, got Lucy on the line, let's get this started. Where's the party tonight? I feel good, nothing weighs me down. I can't believe my luck right now. Red eyes while he said, don't you wanna have fun? Fool around with someone. Don't you wanna have fun? Never mind my dumb heart, it needs a little kickstart. 'Cause don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun?
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. We are just getting back from a week-long vacation, and within hours our house is already trashed. We are all exhausted, but the house is a mess and I have tons of unpacking to do. So even if you're feeling super unmotivated like I was, hopefully this video just gives you some motivation to get it done and get it over with. When I first started, I was like, I am not going to do all of this today. We just got back from the airport. I relaxed for a minute, and then the house just turned into a mess. But I said, you know, I'm just going to get it done, get it over with, and that way when I wake up in the morning, it'll be nice and clean. Off in just the main areas, and over this day and the next day, I finally got the house feeling spotless. Well, to an extent, but hopefully this video gives you tons of motivation when you are just not feeling like getting up and getting off the couch like I was, and you can clean along with me, or if you just want to watch me do all the dirty work, then that's okay too. I'm also going to be trying out a new cleaner version of a cleaning product in the kitchen and bathroom, so I'll give you a review on that as well. But let's get started here in the living room first. So as I mentioned before, we were gone for about a week. We went to Disney World, which is one of my favorite places, and we had someone come and watch our dog. So we do have an 11-year-old lab, and we have all of the cushions laid out because she's not allowed on the couch, but she must have slept on the couch like the whole time we were gone because our couch is filthy. I actually need to take all the cushions off and wash the couch, but for now, I just vacuumed it because, you know, taking the cushions off and washing them is kind of a long process, and I like to do that at night where no one is going to be on the couch. So for now, I'm just vacuuming up all of the dog hair. All of my friends on here with pets who jump on the couch when they're not supposed to, do you guys have any tips, or what do you do to help train your pets not to get on the couch? She used to never do it, and now she does it a lot more often. I don't know if it's because of age or maybe she was just lonely, but she does it when we're home too. So if you guys have any tips on that, then let me know. And here I had bought a bunch of these containers for cereal when I reorganized my pantry, and that's the second one that I broke, and I can't decide if I'm just going to glue it back together or just throw it away. So I had originally bought 5, and now I'm down to 3.
Every time we leave, I'm longing back to the place where the lights go down. Just you and I leaving.
So here I'm going to start unpacking and putting some things in the laundry. These are actually all of my dirty clothes. I had recently reorganized a lot of our drawers to using the KonMari method when folding, and whenever I packed our suitcases, I decided to just go ahead and use the KonMari method as well, the way that it's folded and packed into the suitcase. And I had originally packed it on the other side, so all of my clean clothes are on the side that I'm unloading now. And then once I wore them on vacation, then I just moved it to the other side, so that way I know what is still clean is going to stay on that side, and then whatever needs to go in the dirty clothes, I just unpack and put straight into the dirty hamper. I did the same thing here with the girls' clothes. While we're actually on vacation, we kind of just throw all of our clothes in a dirty clothes pile like we would if we were at home, and then I just went through it and packed it all back in the bag, and here I'm going through everything that is clean and putting it back. Sometimes I just unload everything and just put everything in the dirty clothes, whether we wore it or not. But in this case, I knew exactly what wasn't used was on the other side of the suitcase, so that way I'm only washing the dirty clothes. And honestly, I'm usually not that organized with packing up dirty clothes, but I decided to try it out this time to see how much easier the unpacking process would be. So this is kind of a funny story. Our laundry room is a complete mess. I am going through all the laundry and I noticed that there is like dog hair all behind our hampers and that it needs to be vacuumed so bad. So I am exhausted this day because we just got back. So I'm like, I'm going to focus on the laundry today, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to unload all of the laundry room and vacuum everything and film it, and it's gross and disgusting, and I'm going to get it all on camera. So I wake up the next morning and everything is already vacuumed, and I text my husband Chris and I'm like, hey, did you clean the laundry room? And he's like, yeah, it was so disgusting. And I said, I was going to do it and I was going to film it. And he was like, that's honestly so embarrassing, Michelle. I don't want you to film that. And I was like, yeah, it's embarrassing, but I'm sure we're not the only people who have dirty houses. So leave me a comment below. Is your house always spot-free clean, or do you have areas where it's really embarrassingly dirty?
You're pretty easy to like when your body is closer to mine.
So my kitchen counters are a complete mess, but one thing that I did do was kind of go through our refrigerator. And last time that I dumped a bunch of stuff down the drain, I think people were concerned. So I'm just going to clarify that this is all bad food. Like, we were out of town for over a week, as I mentioned before, and I didn't throw away all of the stuff beforehand. So this is all old and expired, and there's mildew in some of it. So instead of just throwing it down the sink like I did last time, we used to actually have a compost where we dumped out old food into our flower beds. So Chris, who is my husband, actually does landscaping and yard work on the side. He enjoys it. That's why our grass is so kept up and so green. And we used to have an old compost in our old house, and actually last year we had dumped a bunch of pumpkin seeds out, and we actually grew pumpkins in our flower bed just from throwing away old food. We've also grown cucumbers by accident. I think we've also grown cantaloupe by accident just by throwing like cantaloupe seeds in the backyard. So this time, opposed to just throwing it down the drain and wasting it, even though it is bad food, we just threw it in the backyard as a compost.
Let's keep this fire alive.
These containers that I'm washing here, I usually put fruit in them and use them in the refrigerator, but make sure that if you do have them that you hand wash them, because the lids, if you put them in the dishwasher, then they will shrink or do whatever, and then the lids won't fit on properly. So I know to make sure to hand wash all of those containers.
I'll be right there. Turn around, let it rain. Turn around and let it rain on me. Don't you be afraid. Just follow me. You don't need no space. Just follow me. Like a mirror, you reflect me. Like a Friday night on the weekend, I feel blessed and free. I just don't want this moment to end. But now you say you gotta go. Baby, why you gotta go? Like a mirror, you reflect me. I just don't want this moment to end.
So here is just a perfect example of how junk drawers get loaded with junk. I have all of this stuff on the counter, and it's not like throwaway stuff, but it's not stuff that I'd probably use right away. So I'm just like, where should I put all this stuff? And then I end up just throwing it all in a drawer, even though I just organized a lot of my junk drawers. Does anyone else have that problem? This is a lot of stuff that I brought with me in my little backpack. I have, if you just noticed, the Arbonne Fizz. Those are little fizz packs that help give you energy. So if I have like a cup of coffee in the morning, then I will use one of the energy fizzes, which you just mix with water to help give me energy to either right before I work out or if I'm about to clean. I got started with Arbonne through their wellness line and have since started using their facial cleanser line as well as the makeup line. Next week, I'm about to start their 30 Days to Healthy Living challenge to help kind of de-bloat. I'm going to be doing a modified version, and I'll probably be sharing more of that on my Instagram if you're interested, which is Michelle Mybell 711. I'll also send the link down below if you're interested. So here is a new product that I'm trying out. It is called Branch Basics, and I just bought a sample of the all-purpose surface cleaner as well as the Oxygen Power Boost powder. I follow this group on Facebook, and someone just asked what was the best and most recommended house cleaner that they use for everyday cleaning, and that post had like 70 replies on it. So I was like, I'm going to check this out. Let me see what people actually recommend. So I was reading through the comments, and someone had posted about how toxic household cleaners, and I'm actually going to find that link and I'll post it below. And I just thought it was interesting. They said that if you clean your house with toxic chemicals, it is the equivalent on your lungs as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. If you are cleaning your house weekly, which I do. So I just thought that was really interesting and kind of scary. So one of the most recommended products was this Branch Basics, which I had never heard of before, but it is non-toxic chemicals. And so I started looking into it, and this is the sample that I bought. So I'm actually cleaning my whole house with this Branch Basics to see how well it compares to some of the other products that I'd been using. And then the second most recommended product that was non-toxic on that post was the Thrives Cleaner, which I think is a Young Living product that they sell. But I do plan on eventually trying those products as well. If you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I'm not 100% on non-toxic, but I do have a goal to go at least 80% non-toxic chemicals. Especially after reading that article, it was a little bit more alarming. If you have a favorite non-toxic cleaner that you absolutely live by, then leave me a comment below. I also know a lot of people recommend using vinegar, so I'll be trying that out as well too.
Just wanna get to know you, so would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy?
Now I'm going to finish cleaning up our bedroom and put away everything that was not clothes or laundry back where it belongs. I have a ton of Disney ears. If you're a Disney fanatic, then you know what I'm talking about. I feel like you either love Disney and you're just a Disney fanatic like me, or you're like, the lines are too long and it's hot. So leave me a comment below. If you are a Disney fanatic, then let me know. I used to watch all of the Disney movies growing up, and I really wasn't like a Disney World fanatic until after we had kids. We are actually really big cruise people, so shout out to everyone who also misses cruises. But right after we had Sailor, who is 3.5 now, we wanted to go. We love to travel, and I really wanted to go somewhere, and I had a coworker always go to Disney, and I thought that that was weird. I don't know why. I just thought it was strange that she always went to Disney, and she kind of just explained to me all the things you can do, how it's so much fun for adults, how you can go at any age, because I didn't want to go like sit on the beach somewhere with a baby and just not fit in. And I know you can do all that. That's just how I felt at the time. So I started looking into going to Disney and maybe doing a Disney cruise. So when Sailor was 10 months old, we decided to go ahead and book a trip to Magic Kingdom, as well as, I think it was a 3 or 4 day cruise. And I had so many people tell me, your child's not going to remember it. She's not going to remember it. Why are you going somewhere? Why are you going to Disney? And I was like, well, she might not remember it, but I definitely will. And I just want to go somewhere where they accept kids and it's okay if they scream and cry. So we booked our first trip. We went when she was 10 months old, and we have been back every year since, because honestly, to me, it is magical, and I just love the whole experience. If you watched one of my previous videos, you'll know that I just got this Tyneco vacuum mop, so I am using it here. I am absolutely loving it because it is a mop and vacuum in one. So since we were gone all week and our dog was here all week, our floors were just full of dog hair, and you'll definitely see that when I empty out the canisters. But this Tyneco mop vacuum is really helpful, especially since I have a lot of hardwood floors and tile. It just cuts the time in half. So before, I used to have to vacuum it up with my Dyson and then go back around and mop it. I think I had a shark mop and a steam mop, but here I just do it and get it over with all in one. I'm mopping up this area and I'm like, man, it's not working as good as it used to because it's not getting the floor all wet. And then I, move the camera, put it down here, and I'm trying to mop it up and it's just flashing at me. Everything is full, the canister's empty, the whole tube is full, and I'm like, okay, that's probably why. It must have been really dirty this time because usually with one canister full, I can get the whole downstairs vacuumed, but this time it only did like half of the downstairs. So you can see how full it is. It's probably all that dog hair in there that caused it to get full so fast. So I'm actually going to empty it out and then refill the tray and finish mopping up the rest of the floor. For some reason, for me, I like it when it's really dirty. I know that it's gross and everything, but if it was all clean and all the water was clean or just like slightly dirty, I would feel like I wasted my time. Like, why am I cleaning my floor that's already clean? But when it's really dirty, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like that because I feel like I didn't waste my time. I don't know, maybe that's weird, but that's just what I think. So last time I showed this, I totally emptied everything out before I figured out how to use the self-clean. So here I'm going to finally use the self-clean. So I put it back on the charger and there's a little button on top and I clicked it. So now this is spinning because it's trying to clean out the canister. And of course the canister, the top part of the canister has to have more solution and fluid in it, and it didn't. So I had to go fill that back up with water. And then now I click self-clean again. And now it's supposed to shoot up and all of that hair is supposed to fall into that dirty canister. And that way you can just empty it. But I probably messed it up again. And I'm just going to clean it out. But hopefully what I just said made sense. If not, I will be using this a lot. So eventually I will figure out the self-clean and get it right. So it feels so good to have everything picked up and cleaned and laundry going right after coming home. I think it's probably like 10 or 11 o'clock at night right now, but I still have a lot of cleaning to get done the next day. So it is the next day and my main focus now is to work on the master bathroom, bathtub, and shower. And also the countertops and mirrors and the toilet. So basically the whole bathroom. So our grout in our shower is pretty bad. This is another area that I don't clean that often. I think just because I don't like doing it. So I just avoid it. And then when it comes down to it, it gets really bad. But for some reason, and let me know if y'all does this, the grout or the ends of the bathtub, they turn like a pinkish color. And we have a water softener, but I don't know exactly what causes that like pink redness. So if you know, then leave me a comment below. So to clean out, so for the whole bathroom, I'm going to use the Branch Basics, but this is the Branch Basics Oxygen Boost. So this was additional. I think this powder was $10. So with the all-purpose cleaner, what you're supposed to do is spray the all-purpose cleaner and then you coat it with the Oxygen Boost. You can use that Oxygen Boost in laundry as well. and a couple other places, but it's supposed to like make it extra clean. So I put it all in the bathtub and sprinkled it with the oxygen boost, and now I'm just going to let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes. So here is how dirty it gets underneath that bath rack. I think there's a little bit of rust under there, as well as it just needing a deep clean.
I know it's been a while since I held you in my arms. And I wasn't ready yet to learn how to live without you.
So just like I did in the shower, I sprayed everything with the multi-purpose cleaner, and now I'm just going around and sprinkling the powder all over the bathtub. When I look at this reminds me of like putting poison on an ant pile. I don't know why I think of that, but that's just what it looks like to me. So it's supposed to like oxidize and make everything extra clean, and you're supposed to let it sit for a little while. So I think I let this sit for about 20 minutes before going back and scrubbing it. As I mentioned before, we just got back from Disney World. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably saw a ton of Disney spam. I had actually vlogged a Disney vlog last year when I first started to do YouTube. I kind of wanted to do like travel vlogs and stuff like that, but I realized that that just wasn't going to be possible because I can't travel weekly and create new travel vlogs every week. So I actually didn't start off my YouTube channel as a cleaning channel. And if you would have asked me last August when I first started my YouTube channel, I would have never thought that I would say I clean my house on YouTube as a hobby. And to be completely honest, I didn't even watch cleaning channels on YouTube either. I didn't even know they really existed. I did watch a lot of mom YouTubers, especially when I was pregnant. That's how I kind of got started watching YouTube and following some mom tips and things like that. And I saw that a lot of moms and other people were relating to doing cleaning videos. So I decided to try it out, and I did my very first cleaning video. It was more like a cleaning decorating video because I do like decorating and I don't like cleaning. So I posted it in the fall and I was so terrified, but the actual making of it was a lot of fun because I could put in cool music behind it, and it really was like upbeat and motivating. So I remember trying to piece it all together, and I put it together and I showed Chris, my husband, and I was like, look at all of this work I did. See how hard it is to maintain a household with kids or even without kids. It's just a lot of work, and you don't really see it until you look back on it. Even when I'm editing videos, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that I'm already finished and done doing all of that work. So last year it went from me and my husband fighting over who's going to clean what or who doesn't do as much, to having to pay for a maid and who's going to pay for that, and it's getting too expensive, to me just doing it and turning it into a hobby. And do I still like the actual aspect of cleaning? Not really, but I do like what I can create from it and looking back and seeing everything that I've accomplished. So I'm actually curious to know, why do you guys watch cleaning videos, or what do you get out of the cleaning video? Does it really motivate you? Does it really get some ideas going? What do you like most about cleaning videos, and why do you watch them? So leave me a comment below. I really, really want to know. That way I can be more helpful in the future. Also, I think that it's helpful if there's something that you just absolutely do not like doing. It's definitely not something that is fun to do. Maybe it's like working out, or maybe it's cleaning. Then just turn it into something motivating. Turn it into a hobby. I know when I work out, I either will listen to something motivating, or I'll watch YouTube channels if I'm on the treadmill because it's super distracting, or if I'm cleaning, I'll turn the music up, I'll listen to something motivating, a podcast, or I'll have my helpers help me. So just turning that into something that is motivating, even if what you're doing is something that you actually dread doing.
I'm just afraid afraid of being alone. Well, I don't care, cause right now I feel the love that we said we would burn. Oh, I know that you feel it too. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you.
This little caddy thing I got from Target, and I just put all of the girls' bath stuff in there. I eventually plan to put it underneath the cabinets whenever I get to cleaning out my bathroom cabinets and organizing everything. That'll be another project on another day. But for now, it's just going to go in that little caddy.
We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Stay till the morning light. Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning?
So the bath mat and the bath stand, well, the stuff that holds all of your bath stuff, I'm not really sure what that's called, just a stand or a shelf or something, I decided to take outside and just hose off because it was kind of all rusted. I honestly need a new one, but I didn't have one at the time, so I just said that I would just clean the ones that I have. And I did this all in the grass, and whenever I brought it back in, it had grass stuck all in it. So next time I'll just make sure to do it on the concrete itself. For some reason it was like cold and a little bit rainy outside, so I was just trying to go as fast as I could so that I could get back inside.
I don't know your name, and I don't feel no shame. I want you close to me, just your company.
But I was able to scrub off some of the soap and hose it down and clean it.
I'm just here for the night. I want you by my side in the late, late night with the city lights. Keep you safe and sound, always stick around and hold you close to me. Keep your company in the late, late.
Now that the Branch Basics cleaner and that oxygen boost has set, it's probably been about 20 minutes at this point. I'm just going in and just scrubbing everything down.
Your company, I can be your company. I can be your company, your company, your company, company. Your company, I can be your company. I can be your company, your company, your company.
Savannah, who is almost 2, is outside of the shower. I had to lock her out because she kept running in the shower. She wanted to help me, but she kept slipping, and I kind of kept slipping too. So that's another thing that I do like, that these products are non-toxic and non-harmful. So I had to lock her out, and she is just dying to get in.
In the late, late night, only you and I. All we got is time staying inside and hold you close to me.
So this stuff is doing a pretty good job. I just went in and scrubbed everything down as best as I could, and then I ended up letting it sit for like 10 or 20 more minutes just to make sure that it all soaks in, and then I'll come back and rinse everything out and see the final result. Now I am going into our guest bathroom. I'm just going to pick up a little bit in here and clean the mirrors, the counters, and the toilets. From when I had used the Tyneco mop vacuum yesterday, I had rinsed out the container in the sink, and I didn't know that all the dog hair that came out of that container was stuck in the drain. So next time I will try to either do it maybe in the bathtub, but that might get stuck in the drain too. So I'll have to figure out a way to make sure that next time when I rinse out everything, especially if there's a ton of dog hair like there was before, that it doesn't get all stuck in the sink.
Who knows what you think about me? And I know I shouldn't care. I really tried my best, but I can't make you happy. And I can't stop time for you.
Now I moved on to our upstairs bathroom. This bathroom does not get used very much at all. So there's a ring around the toilet, which absolutely annoys me so bad, but that's my fault because I need to clean it a little bit more. So I am just cleaning out everything, and then I'm going to scrub that annoying toilet ring out of this toilet.
I can't stop time for you.
Now I'm going back into the shower and finally rinsing everything out.
I can't stop time for you. I've played my part for nothing.
I don't know why, but cleaning and scrubbing out the shower, this shower especially, is my least favorite thing to do, which is probably why it doesn't get done as often as it should or needs to.
I don't know why we couldn't work this out, because you know I tried the best I could. The best I could.
This little shelf had some rust stains on it, probably from a bobby pin or something, but it seemed to have gotten it out pretty good.
I don't wanna be with somebody who's never gonna be around for me, around for me. I'm running out of energy, I realize you'll never be the one for me.
So here I'm finishing up rinsing everything out, and I had to lock Savannah and the camera out of the shower just so that I can finish up. And I think that the cleaner did a fairly decent job. Now, is all of the grout back to its original color? No, there are still a couple more things I'm going to try, but I think that it did a really good job for being non-toxic, no chemicals, and it smells really nice and clean. Which is actually a really big deal for me, because whenever you shower after you clean it, you don't want to inhale like a bunch of fumes and get a headache from all the fumes. So this actually made it really nice.
I can't stop time for you. I can't stop time for you. I can't stop time for you.
Now that we are both soaking wet after that and the floor is soaking wet, I'm just using those towels as a mop. Does anyone else do that?
Get 'em away, get 'em away.
And the last thing that I am going to do before just relaxing for the weekend is cleaning the mirror.
I've been pushing away.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to end the video here, and I just want you to know that I truly appreciate all of your tips and your help and your sweet, sweet comments. They just mean the world to me. If you are not already subscribed and you did enjoy this video, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.
But I'm not even close.
Buried it. Good compost.
Is it? Savannah. No, Savannah, get back.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no. I really thought
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. If you haven't already noticed, in today's video it is a huge complete disaster. I am embarrassed to say that this is probably the dirtiest our house has ever been. I have no excuse really why it is this bad, except that I am just a busy mom and things just fell apart, it seems like in the blink of an eye. But I'm here now. I'm going to tackle all the mess in the majority of our house, and I hope that you either decide to clean along with me or you can just get satisfied watching me do all the dirty work. If this is your first time here, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Michelle. I'm a mom of two small girls, Sailor and Savannah, who are 3 and 1. So if you can't tell, they contribute a lot to this mess. You'll also see them help, and I say help with parentheses. You'll often see them help me a little bit throughout my videos. I do work full-time from home, but if you enjoy cleaning and organizing content and all kinds of motivation, then I really hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. If you've never introduced yourself before, then go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments. Let me know where you're from, what you do, anything about you. I love getting to know my subscribers. But I'm going to go ahead and get started in the living room, and I do have my little assistants helping me pick up some of their toys.
moving like the river goes. Baby going down, down, down. Baby going down, 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 down. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. Just thought I should let you know. And now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. And now, no words no more, no. We don't know, no words no more. We don't know, no words no more. We don't know, no words no more, no, no. We don't know, no words no more. We don't know, no words no more. We don't know, no words no more, no, no. Yeah. I bet you think.
So I started this cleanup on a Sunday morning, and it actually takes me a couple of days to get through the whole house to see it clean like you did earlier in the video. And we had some company over the night before. I woke up early and started doing some editing, and before you know it, the house was, well, it was already a mess before I even started, but it just turned into a complete disaster whenever I was done. So basically this mess just accumulated over the whole weekend. And of course I'm moving my husband's shoes, and there's Play-Doh all on the bottom of them. And I don't know if he even realized it, but I will have to try and get that out later.
You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better.
Our couch is so dirty. Actually, in my last cleaning video, I had vacuumed up all the dog hair, and I said, it is so dirty, I need to clean it. And I didn't show it on camera because it's so bad. So I just decided that I'm going to take all of the cushions off the couch and wash them. I don't like doing this process. It takes forever, and it actually even took me a day before I even put the cushions back on the couch. I pulled this pillow back and freaked out. I saw this huge spot, and I had no idea what it was. And turns out it was the leaf from the top of a strawberry. I had a horror story. The last time I pulled off all of the cushions from our couch, I told you guys that there was like a stain on my couch because we had a mouse in our house one time, and the way that I discovered the mouse was that there was poop. When I lifted up the covers, there was poop dropping in the couch. Like, that is so disgusting. And I had so many of y'all's comments that were your stories from whenever y'all had a mouse in your house. So later on, I'm going to just share some of those stories because you guys had me cracking up at some of these.
Maybe we could test this and work out.
And of course, I go in to switch the laundry and the dryer is full. I hate that when the washer and dryer are both full and you have a ton of laundry to do. I'm switching over my husband's clothes into the dryer so that I can put the cushions in the washing machine, and I see this pin in there, this blue pin, and I'm kind of looking at some of the shirts because I'm like, you know what happens when you put a pin in the washing machine, but I didn't see anything on the shirt, so I just quickly put it in the dryer so that I could get all of these cushions in. And I shoved these cushions in there. I should have done 2 loads. I usually do. I think I was just in a hurry to try and get everything in there. I used just a capful of that Glamorous wash because it makes them smell so nice when they come out.
All my questions, get to know you better. How can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? Will you let me down before I'm too invested? We should take it easy. Maybe we could test this.
Now I'm just going through and vacuuming up the couch. What I've noticed some other people do is they will get the attachment of their Bissell carpet shampooer and use that and actually just shampoo the outside cushions of their couch. But our couch cushions are, I think, made of like duck feather or some type of feather, so we don't want to actually get all of that wet. So that's why I have to take the cushions off and wash them, even though it is such a pain to get them back on. But I have used before and do use the Bissell shampooer attachment to try and shampoo the sides of the couch.
This is nothing in real life, it might just have been a bad dream. You can run, you can hide, but you can't put the blame on me.
Now that I have all of the cushions in the washing machine, I can try and put all of the pillows back on the couch and wait for those to wash and dry, and then I'm going to try and pick up the rest of the downstairs. We have some toys that we keep underneath the TV and we have the kids play with them downstairs and we rotate them out, but all the other toys that go upstairs, I usually just pick up everything and then just go carry it by the stairs.
Back to life, I apologize. Too soon to say I'm fine. Too soon to say I'm fine. Oh, I don't know what to say, what to do, how to make you see. This is nothing in real life, it might just have been a bad dream. You can run, you can hide, but you can't put the blame on me. Because you're acting like a volcano, tending to be my savior. Nothing you do can save us, save us. Because you're acting like a volcano and make me feel outrageous. You keep teasing.
This video was initially going to be a deep clean, and here I am trying to unlatch the couch so that I can pull it out, and I cannot get it. Without my husband there, I couldn't get it, and that's at that exact point I said I'm not doing a deep clean video. I have to at least reach the surface before I can do any deep cleaning. And what I mean by reach the surface is I need to be able to see the floors first before I can even clean them. That's at the point of disaster we were at. So you can probably take a guess on what next week's video is going to be on. I actually have a ton of new products that I'm going to be trying out, all from subscriber recommendations. The rest of those products are coming in, so next week will be a deep clean.
So why we dragging out when we've been doing everything we could? I don't wanna feel
to try and get this Play-Doh off of my husband's shoes. I thought that it would just peel off, so I'm sitting there trying to get it off with my nail, and it is hard. It is like stuck on there. So I pull out the knife, I'm trying to scrape it off, and I'm about to give up and just be like, you know, too bad, you're gonna have to try and figure this out. But I just keep scrubbing, and ultimately I ended up getting most of it out. When I was done, I had put them in the garage to dry, and that evening he put his shoes on and was like, "Why are my shoes all wet?" And I told him I had cleaned them because they had Play-Doh on them, and he thought the girls had put them in the bathtub. Now I'm just going to start putting stuff away, and I'm cleaning out the diaper bag, and I reach in and there is an old banana stuck in the pocket of the diaper bag. I actually remember opening up this banana the day before for Savannah because she loves bananas and she didn't want to eat it, so we were not close to a trash can, so I stuck it upward thinking that I would remember it, but obviously I did not. And it got that mushiness everywhere. And if you're new here, you'll slowly start to notice that I have several, I just call them Michelle moments, because there are so many times where I'm just so busy, I do not think and just do things, and then I come back and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And that was one of them. A couple of y'all have asked me why I don't use microfiber towels. And why do I use so many paper towels? And I was like, I don't know. I think I have microfiber towels. So I went and grabbed them and I start wiping this counter down, and I'm thinking this is not really rubbing that smoothly. It's kind of not working. And I look at it and it says that it's an electronics microfiber cloth. I have no idea where that came from, but I guess I could have still used it, but it just didn't clean as smoothly. So I went and got another one, and the blue one is so much better. The reason why I didn't use them before was because I just didn't like, I had the thought that I was just cleaning counters with a dirty rag, but I know microfiber cloths are easily absorb and are made for that and everything. So thank you for those that recommended it. Now I can save way more on paper towels. I'm still using the Branch Basics cleaner, which is a non-toxic, all-natural brand. I really do like it. I did get a couple recommendations, which I will also be trying out next week. I wanted to mention one thing about subscribing. Whenever I first started watching videos, I used to watch Erin Williams, and she would always say, hey, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. And I would think, I don't want to like join a subscription service or anything like that. And I just wanted to clarify, in case you kind of had the same thought as me, on your YouTube account, subscribing, all that means is that you will possibly see my videos pop up more, or you can go to your current subscribers and you can find my videos a lot more easier. And hitting the bell notification will just let you know that I released a new video. So if you are interested in subscribing, it's free. You have no obligation to do anything else, but just be aware that a new video is out. And a clean kitchen is like the best feeling in the world. Now that that is clean, I'm going to switch over the laundry. I'm going to take all of my husband's clothes out and then switch the cushion covers into the dryer. I typically have to put those on a very delicate cycle, so that tends to take twice as long as it would a normal load. And I had to break those out into 2 loads because after one cycle it still wasn't dry enough.
Spinning like a broken record. For a player, you don't know that many major chords. We hang out and then you get bored, and
the last thing that I'm going to do on this day, which is Sunday, is to pick up the rest of the blankets and clothes and everything that's in the living room. I'm going to wait for those cushions to dry, and I am just going to vacuum up a little bit. I decided not to do the Tyneco vacuum mop only because we're kind of in a hurry. We're actually going somewhere that afternoon, and it takes a little while to clean and get all the pieces clean. So I just decided to use the Dyson and do a quick vacuum.
Tell your friends I will be just fine. Don't need no therapist. There's nothing like wine.
So later that night, this pile is still on the bed, and I've mentioned before that my husband does his own laundry, and I saw on Jamie's journey her husband was helping her do her laundry, and I told Chris, my husband, I said, hey, you're gonna have to come in my video and step up your game if you're going to be a cleaning YouTube husband. He just laughed, but here he is. He's helping me clean, and he's doing his own laundry, and I'm actually glad he is, because the first piece of laundry he pulled up, he was like, what happened to my pants? That blue pin had leaked all over his pants. I was sitting there looking at his shirts, and I didn't see anything, so I was like, okay, maybe it didn't leak, but come to find out, it did leak all over his jeans. But this is simply just one reason why he does his own laundry, because I go, you put those clothes in there, right? And he said, yeah. So I was like, okay, thank God, because now you can't blame that on me. But they were just like yard work jeans, so no further damage was done on the clothes. But this is Chris, my husband. You may have seen him here and there on some of my videos. We met through friends, and we were married in September of 2013. So this September will be 8 years. But he is super outdoorsy, very hardworking, and the one that I got mad at when he cleaned the laundry room. Now you totally have to watch my messy house transformation video to get that statement. I'll link that one down below if you haven't seen it. Now I'm just going to pick up and vacuum a little bit of the toys and some of the dust that was behind there, and then I will pick back up in the bedroom the next day.
Next to me, the silent souvenir, letting you go.
So now it is the next day. I'm going to make our bed and clean up a little bit more in our bedroom. I have said this before, but it's been a while. So our bedroom is miscolored because we started painting it back last year in quarantine. So last summer, I decided that I wanted to make over the bedroom and do all this stuff. And this was right before I started my YouTube channel. So we picked out some paint, and then I actually bought wallpaper to put behind the back wall. And then I just kept changing my mind. I didn't know if I liked it. I didn't know what color curtains I wanted. I ordered wallpaper that was on back order. I returned the one they sent wrong. I finally got it in, and then now I'm not 100% sure that I want to put it back there. So it's been almost a year, and our room still looks crazy. So I told Chris literally yesterday, I said, I keep telling people that our room is under construction because we are doing all this stuff to it, and I have no idea what I want to do, but we need to go ahead and make that a priority because I'm filming it, and it's so embarrassing every time I watch myself clean the room. It is so embarrassing to look at. So in the next hopefully month or two, I've ordered some things that are coming in, and I am just going to go simple, and I'm finally going to finish this room. So leave me a comment below and let me know, how long has it taken you to ever finish a home project? We are almost at a year for this one. So let me know what is the longest time it's ever taken you to start and finish a project.
Baby, we can do this all night. Keep on second guessing our love, oh love. I don't really care if you don't mind. Baby, we can do this all night. We can do it all night. We can do it all If I walk away, do you wanna get close? Do you wanna get close? Baby, we can do this all night. Keep on second guessing that love, oh no. I don't really care if you don't mind. Don't mind. Baby, we can do this all.
So a couple of the funny mice stories that you guys had commented in one of my videos was, one person said that they had their bike helmet downstairs in the basement, and one day they went to get out their bike to ride it, and they flipped their helmet over their head and there was like mice poop all in it. Another one of y'all said that y'all were from Australia, and currently in Australia there was a mice infestation, and that you had already caught 6 in your house already, which is just crazy to me. Another story was that one of you guys had found a mice on your ceiling fan. I know I would be so terrified. And I remember my favorite story that somebody said was that they had bought this rubber mouse for their cat, and their cat would often like play with it at night. And if I remember correctly, they had gotten up in the middle of the night because the cat was like making weird sounds or whatever, and the cat was playing with the mouse, and they went to grab the mouse out of the cat's hand, and it was a real mouse. And then she said, I will not be buying any fake mice for my cat to play with anymore. So I totally get it, y'all. I think we actually have more mice outside in the backyard, so I'm worried that they'll somehow find a way back in our house. But I do read all of y'all's stories. I think they just make my day. They are so funny sometimes, or they are just so sweet and kind. So don't be afraid to leave me your story, because I love going through and reading them. So I bought these containers a long time ago, and they have just been in our bedroom because I was trying to add them to our garage organization video, but that video is just taking me too long to film. I have over 7 hours of footage for that video, but I promise I will get to it soon. So I decided to just go ahead and pull these out. So basically the refrigerator in our garage is for drinks only, and I drink a lot of LaCroix waters. I like that brand, and I like flavored water. It's just something easy to grab. So I bought these from Amazon, and it's just it comes in a pack of 6, so I'm just using it to store our drinks.
Making it brighter right through the gray.
And this is my last day of cleaning. I'm going to tackle all of the toys on the stairs and go upstairs and declutter the playroom. I mentioned a story in one of my videos where my husband had cleaned up the laundry room a little bit and said that it was just too embarrassing to show on camera. And I came back and asked all of y'all, I said, is your house always clean all the time, or does it get messy? And so many of you guys were like, no, I clean my house daily. And I'm just reading through these comments going, okay, way to make me feel bad. And I'm kidding, but in all honesty, I did used to be really, really crazy about cleaning. Before kids, if the house wasn't clean, then I would have major anxiety. I would stay up late and make sure everything was clean, or else I couldn't go to bed. All the dishes had to be out of the sink. And there were even times where if I had people coming over to our house, and let's say that they came over like a half an hour or 10 minutes early, and I wasn't done cleaning or making sure the floors were mopped, I would make our company wait outside and say, I'm sorry, but I'm not done mopping. You're not allowed to come inside. Like, that's how crazy I was about my house being clean. So I do understand it feels amazing to have a clean house. I think more importantly, it just feels like you don't have all this stuff to do. That's how I feel, is that if I don't have it clean that day, then it feels like I have all of this stuff to do the next day. But over the last couple of years, I've slowly stopped making having my house like spotless clean a major priority and started just focusing on other things that were more of a priority. And let me tell you, my anxiety has gotten so much better, because sometimes cleaning to me, I wouldn't say it's relaxing. There's nothing relaxing about what's going on right now, but it's just a kind of a place where I can clear my mind. I can have some time to think. I can listen to a podcast. I can just listen to some music and just kind of get it done. But I have to be in the right mindset. So if it's midnight and the dishes aren't done and I am so tired, exhausted, I know that I can do it tomorrow when I'm in the right mindset and not stress about it like I used to. Because at that time, sleep is more of a priority to me than the dishes sitting in the sink. And I totally respect that maybe not everybody will agree with that, which is why you see my house gets pretty dirty quite often, is because I don't always pick up everything that same day or the night before. I do try and keep it manageable. This is obviously beyond out of control, but at least I can set up some time where I can just focus on it. I time block, so this doesn't stress me out at the time because I am already aware of what I'm doing, and I can put on some good music, jam out, and just get it done when I'm in the right mindset. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what y'all all like to do while you're cleaning. Do you like to listen to music? Do you like to listen to a podcast? Do you like to watch cleaning videos? Leave me a comment and let me know.
I had to convince my friends this time. Think you're toxic to my mind, but I know they don't know what you're all about. The way you hold my body tight, staying up talking through the night. Yeah, I know they just don't. With us it's all or nothing. Ooh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say you're doing night, but in the morning you just...
So about 6 months ago, I did a massive playroom organization. That was like my first huge project, and I did a video on that. I'll link that down below. But I also, when I did that video, I looked at like tips for kids, and one of the things that they recommended was when you have a puzzle, then to keep the puzzle pieces undone, so keep them not put together like I just did there, and that will encourage them to solve the puzzle. But if the puzzle is already solved, then it doesn't encourage them to try and solve it themselves. So you're just supposed to keep them a little bit scattered on the puzzle, which I'm actually thinking about that while I was putting that puzzle piece together. But next time I will remember that tip and then go back and make sure that the puzzle pieces are undone. That way it'll encourage them to solve them.
With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say you're doing night, but in the morning you just sleep. With us it's all or nothing.
A lot of the organizing stuff that I used in this room are from IKEA. So that little shelf that I am organizing there is from IKEA, as well as the 3-tier tray that I have all of the art supplies on.
How did we end up here in the corner looking like enemies? We used to be the team people talk about when a chemistry.
I made a small pile for the stuff that goes back downstairs. We have a little kitchen that right now is still kind of in our dining room area. So I'm going to pick up all of the stuff that goes in that little kitchen and put it back. In another video that I did a few months ago, I had actually bought these clear plastic bins to put in all of the play kitchen stuff. So right there is where I'm using them. And in that video, I was doing some extreme organizing. So I was getting all of the toys, all the plastic forks would go in one bin, all the plastic little cups would go in one bin. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is what all of my subscribers want to see. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to manage keeping this play kitchen that organized. And thankfully, I got so many comments from y'all saying, it does not need to be that organized. You're going to go drive yourself crazy trying to keep everything this organized. How you have had kids in the past, maybe you're a grandparent now, and that is just not worth it. So thank you guys for easing my mind and just letting me know that it's okay to just put the toys back in the little kitchen and then put the kitchen away. That doesn't need to be extremely organized.
You don't wanna talk anymore. I wanna get so numb, were we enemies? No, you don't mind the way I spend my words. You know exactly what it means and how it hurts.
Having all of this clean feels so good. Now if I can only get them to not play in here for the next month, that would be perfect. I'm joking, obviously, but the last thing that I'm going to do is vacuum up the stairs.
'Cause when you get too close, I lose my way and I freeze. I wish you knew what power you had.
But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and got tons of inspiration and motivation. Now I can start prepping for next week's video, which is a deep clean. And if you want to stick around for that, then make sure that you're subscribed and you click that bell notification so that you get notified when I release a new video. Now, if you want to stick around for another minute, I do have some bloopers that you won't want to miss.
I just wanna get out of here. I find it so hard to breathe.
It's time for everybody to help clean up because I didn't make this mess. We got all that mess over there. Now we got to pick up all of this mess, huh? Savannah. No, don't break that. Savannah, come help pick up.
Friday night sneak.
Whoa. You find a pin in there?
Yeah. I did find a pin.
Savannah makes the big brown mess.
Oh, Savannah made the mess?